Welcome to Teaneck High School's 2020 virtual open house. Albeit it's not our regular open house, but there are a number of people that work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that it's not only informative this evening, but enjoyable. My name is Pedro H. Valdez III, and I am the interim principal of Teaneck High School. Not only am I the interim principal of Teaneck High School, I am also a graduate of Teaneck High, class of 1992. Teaneck has always had a very special place in my heart. However, Teaneck High School helped mold the man that stands before you today. Within those hallways, I was tested, I was challenged, I was educated on a daily basis, but I found my way. It is our charge to ensure that not only are you challenged, tested, and educated on a daily basis, but that you too find your way. The Castle on the Hill is many things to many people. A place to grow, a place to experience, a place to learn, a place to compete, a place to love, a place to bond, a place to feel safe, a place to blossom. So what place will the Castle on the Hill become for each and every one of you? The entire THS family is committed and excited to welcome you in September as a class of 2026. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great holiday, and thank you for joining us this evening. We will now have a few words from our superintendent, Dr. Christopher Irving.
I want to welcome our Thomas Jefferson and Ben Franklin middle school students who are joining us tonight. I also want to welcome our Teaneck Charter School students who will be joining us as well. In addition to you all, I welcome your parents and your loved ones who are joining us for this open house this evening. Tonight, we're really excited to be able to showcase to you and the members of your family all the greatness that is our new mission statement that is called the Teaneck Advantage. We believe there are great things happening at Teaneck High School and even greater things to come as we share those with you this evening. I want to thank Mr. Valdez, our school principal, and Ms. Golden Cooper, our director of guidance, for helping to put this event together. All I will ask you to do is to please, as you are going through your sessions and webinars and seminars, please listen intently to all of the great things that are awaiting you here at the Castle on the Hill. We're excited for your future, and we cannot wait to welcome you here next year as the incoming freshman class. Take care and stay safe. Hello.
Good evening, middle school families. My name is Justin O'Neill. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Teaneck High School. I just joined the team in September. I hope this presentation finds you all well and ready to learn a little bit about the Castle on the Hill. I spent 20 years in middle school, and as the newest member of the administrative team, I understand how important it is to transition from 8th grade to a freshman in a big high school like Teaneck High School. Hopefully tonight you find it to be informative, and also it gives you obviously we'd much rather be in person, shaking hands and smiling with everyone in the building. However, as of right now, we can't do that, so this is hopefully the next best thing. We really just want you to walk away with an understanding as to what Teaneck High School has to offer. I can tell you that as someone who's new, as I said, newly joined of the team, I was incredibly impressed, which is what brought me out of my previous district to Teaneck. So I will just walk you through how the evening is going to work. Of course, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can always email a number of us, which will share all of our contact information, Mr. Valdez, Miss Mack, Miss Golden Cooper, as well as myself. But again, the night will run very smoothly. We will start off as soon as I am finished. We will have a little showcase where you can see some of our talented Teaneck High School students. The marching band will do a slight performance, as well as our THS peer leaders, which will give you a virtual tour of the building. So hopefully you can sit back, enjoy, engage, and hopefully you have an idea as to what Teaneck High School represents and the great things you can do here. So without further ado, Please enjoy the THS showcase and the virtual tour.
One, two, three, four.
Welcome to Teaneck High.
Oh my gosh, I'm late!
When you walk into the building, this is our main lobby. On our left side, we have our event room. On our right side, we have our hall room. This is the conference side. This is the room.
Office guys, this is where attendance is getting done. And in here, there's the principal's office, Mr. Valdez, Ms. O'Neill, in the background. And then over here is the assistant principal's office, where Ms. Mackey is, Ms. O'Neill.
In the middle of the first floor is the nurse's office where you can come if you're feeling sick or injured, and you can also get your physicals done for sport. This is a dance room. It's brand new. They just renovated it. It's used for dance classes, but theater meets in here, and we also have dance ensemble during the spring.
Right, so this is one of the small gyms, and here it's known as more of the fencing club small gym. The fencing team goes in here, and sometimes we have gym in here, but not always.
Welcome to the gym where you'll come for your gym class. Behind me are the locker rooms where you get changed, and then you'll go out to the floor for your floor spots.
In the gym, we also have college fairs, pep rallies, SAT tests during COVID, and sporting events.
So this is the weight room. This is where people come out to work out, teams come here for conditioning, and if on your own time, if you want, you come after school and work out, right?
And behind us, we have the treadmill / Scott's office room. You can get PT for sports. I spent all my freshman year in his office.
When walking up or down the stairs, you want to make sure you stay on the right side. We have a lot of staircases, so it's easier to get to class. We also have some seatings at the top of the stairs. Don't skip past there, but it's a good place to hang out.
When you go to meeting, this is the place to be. But you have to have a hall pass. So to get a hall pass, you go to the THS app, and there's a little section where you get a hall pass. And there's a bathroom on each side of the school.
So this is the unisex bathroom, and you don't feel comfortable using either the boys or girls bathroom. You can use this bathroom for more privacy and comfort.
And here's the guidance office. Hey! Here's where you get to know your school counselors. They can help you with advice, school scheduling, and later on college.
So this is the media center. Here you'll find the librarian, Miss Stack. The first thing you do when you walk in is you sign in with your ID. You write down your school ID, all the information, what time you enter and what time you exit. In the media center, we have laptops that you can use to complete any schoolwork. We also have printers that you can use to print out any homework assignments you have to do, and as well, we have books and magazines that you can take out of the library. And don't eat any food or drinks.
Hi, y'all. This is the auditorium. It's very beautiful. This is where a lot of things take place: assemblies, public performances, class meetings. You're going to be seeing a lot of it when you get back, so enjoy.
Okay, so this is the chorus room.
This is where concert choir, measurables, and mixed chorus practice.
And the art rooms, our teachers are Mr. Lau, Mr. Coelho, and the classes they teach are Art 1, Art 4, and AP Studio Art. And we also have a club that tends to meet on Tuesday. And I took Art 1 back in California, and I learned a lot, and it was a really fun class. Here at THS, we have two cafeterias, Cafeteria A and Cafeteria B. We get our food in these doors, and once we get our food, we go to either side. And you can sit there with your friends, you have many tables. I used to take refresh food in Cafeteria A, and I really liked it in the first class.
So on the third floor, we have all the science classes in which we do experiments like dissecting frogs or pigs, and also doing gravity experiments also. Some of the teachers that we have are Miss Hada, Mr. Thomas, Miss Glassy, and Miss Neck.
So also in the student center, we have our cultural centers. Right now I'm in Spectrum, which is a club for the LGBTQIA+ community.
This is the Latin American Center, and meetings for SOLA are held here.
This is where the Black Student Union meets on Tuesdays after school.
This is where the Asian Student Union meets.
And this is the Holocaust Center where the Israeli Club meets.
I'm working so hard today at school. I know I'm gonna have for lunch.
Well, lunch for you, you're in the student center, where you can get food from the food counter when the lines in the cafeteria are too long, or chips, snacks, and drinks from those vending machines.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my gosh, I'm already a senior. What am I gonna do after high school? Maybe I should go here. In the College and Career Center, colleges send representatives to teach you about their schools. This is another space for club meetings and school held events.
In addition to the main entrance, there's also two side entrances. This one's Cranford and the next one's Elizabeth.
Okay, so here we have the Elizabeth side. Over there is Elizabeth entrance. Here we have the entrance. And if you ever don't want the school cafeteria lunch, you can always come here now. Some food. I think this was the case, and they have like burgers and fries. And also, if you go down Elizabeth, there's also shortcuts to go to.
So
So these are the stairs. If you don't choose to eat in the cafeteria, the students in here, you can always come outside here to eat or study for your next class. This is a football field. Sometimes we do gym out here, and then during football season, you can find the twirlers, the band, and the cheerleaders out here. One, two. Three.
Okay, everyone. So now we'll move on. We do understand that there was an issue with the sound there. We'll do what we can to correct it, and we will be sharing this afterwards so that you can refer back to the presentation. We do apologize for the sound. It seems that there's a little bit of an issue with it. Right now, you'll see here, we have a beautiful drawing of the castle on the hill. And this is the portion of the evening where you students and families will be able to just kind of go through and see some of the academic and school offerings that we have. If you'll see each window area, the light blue and the white areas, they are hyperlinked to different departments and subject areas and other activities. So you can just get an idea as to some, again, this is only some of the opportunities that lie ahead at Teaneck High School. So this, you can actually see in the chat. If you access the chat, there is a link. You can copy and paste that link into your browser window, and that will allow you to engage with the interactive tiles that are on that illustration there, on that slide. We do ask that you take some time, see what you can learn, and be back on the Zoom by 7:15. Because at 7:15, we will have a Q&A and some presentations by the Teaneck High School department supervisors, as well as some student guests. So again, if you access the chat, everyone, you will see that there is a link that you can paste, and that will bring you to the interactive Castle on the Hill, where you can look through some of the school offerings. If you have any questions, we'll remain on, and you can put them in the Q&A, and we'll try to answer them as best as possible. If you do run into a technical difficulty, you could always access the Teaneck High School's website, and you will see that there is a link there as well. It's the same link that is in the chat right now. So enjoy, and make sure you're back by 7:15, please. The most important or informative portion of our evening. We will have a Q&A as well as some information shared from our Teaneck High School department supervisors, as well as some student guests. And we will start this portion off with Mr. Montserrat, who will be discussing science, teams, and computer science. So enjoy. Mr. Montserrat, it's all yours. Everyone else, please make sure you mute and stop your video so that we have Mr. Montserrat has everyone's attention.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, everyone. My name is Rolando Montserrat. I'm a supervisor for science, engineering, and technology for the Teaneck Public School District. With me this evening, joining me in this session is Aisha. Aisha, if you'd be so kind as to turn it on and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Aisha. I am a senior at Teaneck High School, and I've been part of the Teams program for 4 years. So back to the school time.
Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up the time that we have together, for you to provide or for you to share any questions that you might have for the science, the technology of computer science offered at Teaneck High School, or the Teams program. until there is any question that comes up, I'd like to at least share a few frequently asked questions. For example, one of the questions, here we have one question. What is the acceptance rate for the Teams program? Well, this is the acceptance rate. We will review every single applicant that completes an application and goes through the application process. And I'll explain a little bit more what that is. It depends on the number of students that apply, but most of the time the acceptance rate is 40 students per year. So as an incoming freshman, the maximum number of students we can accept are 40 students. Now, what is the application process? Aisha, when you applied, did we interview you?
No, there was no interview my year. I just did an essay. I wrote an essay, and back then it was a written form. Now it's a Google form. And you just answer a couple of questions about yourself and about like a 300-word essay that you write, and you just submit your applications along with your math and science teacher's recommendations.
Exactly. This year we will be having an interview process, and we do this so that we can, could look a little bit further into the student, so we can see where when we have an interview process. We've done that in the past before your class, Aisha, came in, and what we did is we were able to see students beyond what is on paper, and so we accepted. We considered students that otherwise would not be considered. Let me go over a few questions. What are the requirements for Teams? The requirements are that you fill out the application and you go through the application process. We accept students from the criteria we use to evaluate the students are their 7th grade report cards and the current, as well as the state assessment, the essay that the students provide, as well as the teacher recommendations for science and mathematics. And we also include an interview like I said this year. Let's look at another question. As a student, how do you know that the Teams program is something that you want to apply to and continue to participate in? The Teams program is for students that want to learn more about science, engineering, and technology. Aisha, could you explain a little bit about the type of student that goes through the Teams program?
Most of the students in the Teams program, as well as myself, we are very into math and science as a whole. Like if if that's something that you like, then the Teams program is definitely a fit. If you want to pursue, even if you don't know your major, but you know that you want to go into a field where it's science, technology, or math, then Teams is definitely the right place to be at. And even if you are not sure, Teams is great in terms of, critical thinking, problem solving skills. And it's a great fit if you think that you're very, again, into the field.
Thank you, Aisha. Next question says here, what are your AP course completion pass rates in the sciences over the past few years? That data I do have available, and I will furnish it. If the individual that asked that question emails me, I will be able to provide the public information that is available for everyone. Wow, the thing is scrolling. How will students be accepted? The students will be accepted into the Teams program, as I indicated, as they go through the application process, which is a written Google form application, an essay, an interview, as well as a review of the current and past grades in mathematics and science. And included as well will be a teacher recommendations. How much experience does a student have to have prior to your program? Can beginners apply? Your volume is very low. My volume is very low. Okay. I didn't know that, but maybe someone will be able to help me. I have mine at high. However, the experience, I do not understand the question. However, we accept, I look through every single application that the students fill out. When is the deadline? The deadline has been extended to January 15th, which is a Friday. We've done this due to the circumstances that we're living in. I don't want any more additional pressure on the students that are applying than what they already have. Please email me the pass rate data to, oh, I see. Okay, now I'm going to copy this, and I would like you to email me as well, because I'd like to know who you are, and I have it on record. So I would appreciate Anne Marie Ambrosino, if you please be so kind as to email me at rmonserrat, MONSERRAT, at teaneckschools.org. What date is the interview? The interview process will be in February. The date is to be determined. Now the interview will be done virtually or through a Google Meet to make it so that it's convenient and safe for everyone. Let me see. There are a couple of other frequently asked questions, even though the questions are empty right this point. And one of them is, can I take other courses other than the Teams program in my freshman year? Aisha, what elective did you choose when you were a freshman in the Teams program?
So you can mostly choose whatever you want, but my friends and I, like my grade mostly, most of us did Spanish or second language, because there's a 2-year requirement and most of the colleges prefer 4. So the earlier you start getting it, and the better it looks that on your college application. So if you like it, you can take more than 2 years. I have other friends who decided to continue in band. It was kind of hard and they didn't want to quit, so they kept doing band freshman year. So it's mostly your choice, but I personally chose to take my second language requirement freshman and sophomore year.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Aisha, Mr. Montserrat, I hate to cut you off. However, we do need to move on. Mr. Montserrat, you might want to even post your email in the Q&A or the chat, and then if
we're going to put it in the chat right now.
Okay, and Aisha, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you could both mute and turn off your camera, we're going to move on to the next presenter. Next, we will actually have Dr. King, who is the Supervisor for Social Studies and Practical Arts. Dr. King, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to ask Tal to turn, oh, there you go, Tal. It's good to see you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. King. I'm the Supervisor of Social Studies, Business, and Practical Arts for the school districts. Hopefully you had an opportunity to watch the video that was posted. I'm going to let Tal talk a little bit about the social studies courses that he has taken so far, and let everyone know, Tal, what year you are in at the high school.
Hi, yeah, I'm Tal. I'm a senior. So I've taken 4 years of social studies classes. Freshman year, I took global history honors. Sophomore year, I took US history. Junior year, I took AP US history, and I also took AP human geography sophomore year, which was one of my favorites. And right now I'm taking AP psych and also AP GOPO, which is AP government and politics. So yeah.
So we have a number of, as you can hear from Tal's courses that he's taken, we have a number of advanced placement courses in social studies. I believe social studies has the most number of advanced placement courses out of all the departments at the high school. All incoming freshmen take global history. All 9th grade students take global history. You have 2 options. You can take global history college prep, or you can take global history honors. All sophomores take United States History 1, and juniors take United States History 2. We have a number of electives in the social studies department. The electives are open to students in grades 10 through 12. We have African American studies, Latin American studies, a number of electives around law and sociology, such as Intro to Law and Sociology and Introduction to the Criminal Justice System. We also have psychology, comparative religion and ethics, honors economics. do want to add talk about very quickly the New Jersey graduation requirement for a high school diploma. All students have to take 3 years of social studies, and they have to take at a minimum 1 course that meets a financial literacy requirement. In social studies, we do have 1 course that meets that requirement. We have honors economics, but as you hear the other supervisors speak, there are a number of courses in other departments that meet that requirement. For some reason, it falls under social studies. So you're looking at global history, US history 1, US history 2, and at least 1 course in financial literacy in order to meet the requirement for social studies. No, this social studies, this is not part of teams, where this is just a requirement, course requirements for a high school diploma in New Jersey. As far as advanced placement is concerned, the advanced placement courses, and you heard Tal mention a number of these. We have AP Psychology, AP US History, AP United States Government and Politics, AP Human Geography, and AP Economics. And I encourage all students to try an AP course. The College Board recommends that, that students, if you feel that you want to try it, and if you feel that you can bring the time and attention that is needed to an advanced placement course, I definitely would recommend that you try an advanced placement course. AP Human Geography. And Tal, what grade did you take AP Human Geography? Do you remember?
Sophomore year, so that's the earliest year.
Sophomore year, right. That elective is open to 10th grade students, so you don't have to wait to senior year in social studies to take an advanced placement course. You can actually take an advanced placement course beginning in 10th grade. As far as college prep and honors courses for global history and United States history 1 and 2, your, I believe, 8th grade teacher, and you'll be sitting down with your parent and guardians making course selection soon. And you may start off in college prep, but if you feel you want to move to the honors level, you can give it a try. You always have the option to go back to an honors course. We do have a question here. I'm sorry, Ms. O'Neill, is my time up? Oh.
You can take that last question if you want, Dr. King.
Okay, advanced placement courses are courses that students take in advanced placement exam, AP, and they can also, when they apply to college, some colleges will give students credit for that AP course, so that's 1 less course to take at the college level. Honors is what we offer at the high school and college prep. There's a difference in the rigor of the courses, definitely higher expectations in the honors course for students to be able to do quite a bit of independent work. So I'm going to stop there. My email is in the PowerPoint if you have any additional questions. Thank you, Tal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tal. Thank you, Dr. King. And now we'll be moving on to English Language Arts with Miss Patricia Dent. Miss Dent, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. O'Neill said, I am Patricia Dent, the Director of English and ESL and School Innovation for the Teaneck School District. My video, or the video representing the English department here at Teaneck High School, was posted on the website, but just to go over a few highlights from the English department. As Dr. King noted, within our department, there are 2 AP courses that can be taken under English. The first one students can take as juniors. It's titled Advanced Placement Language and Composition. And as seniors, students can take AP or Advanced Placement Literature and Composition. Both the AP courses are courses that offer the AP exam, and should students earn a certain grade on the AP exam, that score may earn college credits to a university or college wherever the student might be attending, so they would have to check the college requirements for that, or the college that they choose to go to, they would have to check the information for that. All incoming freshmen, they're offered 2 courses, Language and Literature 9 or Language and Literature 9 Honors. Those are our core courses, and on the PowerPoint, I created a grid that just shows you the different core courses that students can take as they spend 4 years here at the Castle on the Hill. Outside of the core courses that students can take, the English department has a number of electives for which we are very proud. First, our department does offer Creative Writing 1 and Creative Writing 2. We also offer Journalism, African American Literature, Women's Literature, Modern and Contemporary Latin American Literature, and Literature and Cinema Honors. The purpose of the English department electives are really to give children options, or students options and voice and choice as they strengthen their ability to read, write, express themselves. So not only are they taking their core courses, but they also have an array of electives from which to choose. Last but not least, of course not last but not least, at the end of my presentation, I talked about the literary magazine that is run by one of our teachers, Mr. Sean Holland, who does an exceptional job. But it really is a beautiful or incredible opportunity for students not only to practice or share their artistic ability, but it also gives students an opportunity to write creatively. And so we're super proud of the magazine, and we're very incredibly proud of the work that's happening by Mr. Holland and by our students here at the Teaneck School District. And I know that there may have been a little bit of trouble with the links, but if you check out that PowerPoint, or even if you go to the Teaneck High School website, the literary magazine is there. So that gives you a really great opportunity to see what our students are doing and to see the diverse reading or writing and artistic things that our that our students are doing here at Teaneck High School. At this point, I will take any questions, so I'll take a minute to pause and I'll check for questions in the chat.
Ms. Dent, I think you were just so thorough. There are no questions. Amazing.
I do, so the chat is, I will give it a minute. So if you have any questions, we're going to take one more minute. You can populate those questions in the Q&A. Okay. If you go to the PowerPoint, or even if you visit the Teaneck High School website, the Teaneck Public Schools website, I'm just going to reintroduce myself so that you know who I am. Oh, we do have a question here. Perfect. I get excited. So it says, for the magazine, will that take place during school hours or after school? Usually the magazine, the students author it on their own time, but the creation, it's put together as an after school type of activity. It's not something that takes place during the day. So hopefully that answers your question. I'll give it one more minute to see if there are any more. How does a student get selected for AP or honors courses? So I'm going to reframe that, because students don't get selected for AP or honors courses. It's a collaborative process. And so it's a combination of teacher recommendation. A student might advocate for him or herself by speaking to the school counseling department. Teachers work together hand in hand with counselors and with families to make recommendations with students regarding the best placement or the most comfortable placement for a student to be successful. So it's not a selection process, it's a collaborative process. And for more, this question seems a little bit, this question actually goes for all of the departments. If a child or a family member or a student is interested in taking an AP or honors course, oh, that's a really good question. Give me one moment. If a student is interested in an AP or honors course, he or she should have a conversation with the school counselor, and the school counseling department is fantastic, and they're going to provide you with a trajectory or a roadmap that's going to match your interests and your abilities. What is my favorite book to teach? So currently, I am not teaching, but when I was a high school English teacher, my favorite book to teach, wow, probably in the first couple of years, it's probably Romeo and Juliet, just because of the Shakespearean language, and because I studied sonnets when I was a senior at the university level. So probably that. And this question, there really isn't a distinction. I don't want to speak too much about a distinction. It says, what will it be like in classes where that might be titled, might be for students who have special needs. The courses are all tailored for students. And so for that particular question, I would have a conversation with case managers, with administration, and with teachers, because courses, the Teaneck High School offers a student-centered approach. And so for that particular setting, it really is, the instruction is crafted in conjunction with the student's IEP, in conversation with the case manager, and of course, in conversation with the student and the family.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dent. We will now move on to Miss Margot Mack, who is not only one of our APs at Teaneck High School, but wears many hats, including the supervisor for fine and performing arts. And everyone, if you could just remember, use the Q&A to put your questions in. You can do that as right away, and hopefully that'll help us out with time. Ms. Mack, all yours.
Hello, everybody. Portia, I have a student. Portia, if you can turn your camera on and unmute, that would be wonderful. So hello, everybody. Like Mr. O'Neill said, my name is Miss Margot Todman Mack, and I am one of the assistant principals here at the high school. I also wear the hat of being the supervisor of band and chorus for the district. So I have Portia here. Hello, Portia, how are you? She is—
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well. She is a senior here at Teaneck High School. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go over our robust fine and performing arts offerings, and then I will ask Portia some questions. So if you all don't know, Teaneck, the town, and Teaneck High School in particular, have a storied history in fine and performing arts. My department, music, offers instrumental and vocal offerings. Within instrumental, there is band and there is strings, the orchestra. We also, under the umbrella of fine and performing arts, we have theater, and our theater department is robust. We have both traditional theater and tech theater. And then we have fine art, which is your traditional drawing, sculpting. And then we also have digital art. And then we have dance. So there are many, many wonderful courses and a home for an artist at Teaneck High School. So Portia, if you can unmute yourself, if you can tell the audience what is your track and what has been your track under fine and performing arts at Teaneck High School.
So my track has been tech theater, mainly costumes. When I was in 9th grade, I took technical theater and entertainment, which I think is what it's called, which is just like a baseline class where you learn everything that you need to know to go on in tech theater. And then after that, I've taken advanced technical theater, which is where you kind of focus on one aspect, and you're like very hands-on, and you help with the show, you help put on a certain aspect of the show. So for me, I'm in costumes, so I've been very focused on, getting the costumes together and just helping out. And even if you are in a certain, I guess, bubble, you could call it, you still get to help out with other things. Like there's been countless times where I've been asked to, help move something, help paint the stage, help organize props, help look for props. So it's very hands-on, and you get a lot of experience in that. And you also help put on the shows. We have a fall play and a spring musical. And you can also help out with like the dance shows and the chorus shows and things like that, especially if you work in lighting or sound. That's like a very important thing that they often need help with. And even with like school assemblies, like I know we've been asked to help put on, like, turn the lights on, or like help with the projections or stuff, and like figure out some sound issues. So there's a lot of like things that you can be involved in, which is like something that I've really loved about it, is because it always gives you something to do. Like you're always busy, and you always like find time to have something to do, and you really build a family. And I've found that I've like kind of found it my second family in the theater department, which is like another thing that I really love about it.
All right, thank you so much for that thorough answer. I was remiss, and I do see something in the chat that reminded me. We do, and Portia brought it up, have many showcases for our students' talent. So let's start with dance. With dance, we always have a spring show, our dance ensemble showcase. Like Portia said, for theater, we have our fall play. For the spring, we have a musical, which actually combines the dance department as well as the theater department. Both the fall and spring play and musical combine both of our music departments because they play the orchestra and band for the shows. Our fine and performing artists have a spring showcase where their art is actually showed in a gallery setting in our media center. So there are many, many streams for a young artist to grow and flourish at Teaneck High School. Regarding courses, in New Jersey, the minimum requirement school diploma is a 1-year requirement for fine and performing arts. So again, for our 8th graders and their families out there, we have many pathways for you to fulfill that requirement. And if you want to go above that, Teaneck is your home. Currently, I did teach actually social studies in the building. I currently have many former students that are working in the arts and doing very well, I must say. They are not starving artists. I have someone dancing at the American Ballet Theater. I have someone that, well, right now, because of COVID, they're not working, but up until COVID, they were the director of lighting for a top Broadway musical, and they're only 27 years old. And I have former students traveling the world performing their music. So again, Teaneck High School has a flourishing art department. I'm going to stop now and get to the questions. Do students need to try out for concert, band, and or need prior experience? They do not need to try out for the band. They can register for it. As a matter of fact, I know 2 students that are currently seniors, that is my class, who tried it this year for the first time. One picked up a saxophone for the first time and one a flute, and they are flourishing in the class. Question is dance like how it is in the middle school? So I'm not sure what you mean by that question, but I can tell you that dance is a wonderful class. We have honors options and we go up to dance 4 for our dance class. There are no tryouts for band. How many times does band meet during the week? Great question. Band is an actual class, so it meets as many times as your other courses meet. Besides performing at school, does band perform elsewhere? Yes, our bands perform at showcases, and then part of band, and you actually get credit for it, you're part of the marching band and you perform at our football games as well. Can you do band in theater? You sure can. How many concerts a year? Winter concert, and there is a spring concert, 2 minimally. We also have a jazz band, I forgot to mention that. So I'll get to the last 2 questions. What is the process for an 8th grader coming from another school to enroll? Can you speak about diversity within the school? So 2 questions there. Enrolling in band is a matter of telling the school counselor when you are choosing your classes. And regarding diversity, we are one of the most diverse schools, I believe, in New Jersey. Diverse racially, ethnically, economically, religiously. So again, Teaneck is your home if you are looking for a diverse place. And what type of dance options are available? Our dance curriculum is founded in ballet, but you do all from bar to modern to many other forms, African, Latin. And lastly, does THS offer orchestra as well? Yes, we do. We do offer orchestra. All right, so I will put my email address in the chat. We seem to have a lot of questions regarding fine and performing arts. And again, I'm also one of the assistant principals at the high school with Mr. O'Neill and Mr. Valdez. I will have the 9th grade class, so you will see me, and please feel free to email me with any of your questions. Thank you so much, and Portia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Portia. Very, very well done. Ms. Mack, thank you so much. And now we are moving on to the wonderful world of mathematics with Miss Jasmine DePara. Ms. DePara, it is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jasmine Para. I will be speaking to you in reference to mathematics with Amita. Amita, if you can please turn on your camera. Welcome. A couple of things about mathematics. If you were unable to see the presentation, you will be. We do apologize for the inconvenience earlier. couple of items in reference to mathematics. Per the state, the state requests 3 years of mathematics, but at Teaneck High School, we require the students to sign up for 4 years of mathematics in order to meet graduation requirements. Amita, if you can speak a little bit about your experience at Teaneck High School with mathematics, as well as transitioning from middle school to high school, as well as your current grade level, please.
Hi, I'm Amita. I'm a senior at Teaneck High School, and math has always been one of my favorite subjects. And at Teaneck High School, I've gotten to take all the advanced math classes. So right now, I'm currently in AP Calculus BC, and I'm so thankful to be able to have all these opportunities to take these really nice advanced math courses. And as far as transitioning, so I was in the TEAMS programs, which means that in 9th and 10th grade, I was taking certain classes designated for the TEAMS Academy. So I went in 8th grade, I was in the Advanced Math Seminar math class. And then in 9th grade, I went into Algebra 2, I went into Geometry honors in TEAMS. So I was completely prepared for all the math classes, like as the grades progressed, and yeah.
What are your future plans?
Oh, so I want to go to college for astrophysics because space has always been one of those great mysteries in life, and I just really have this desire and passion to study it. And not to mention, math and physics are my favorite subjects in school, so it's like my ideal dream job.
Thank you very much, Amita. And just as an extra, my favorite in high school was geometry. That was one of my favorite subjects. And I still have my notebook from when I was in high school with my proofs and my theorems. So that tells you a little bit about me. In reference to questions, if you have any questions, please place them in the chat. There is a question, is there tutoring in mathematics? There are a couple options. You have teachers assisting, as well as you have peer group with the students, as well as for tutoring the child if there are any issues or concerns that he or she may have with classes. Any other questions, if you can populate them in the chat. Otherwise, I will speak in reference to the sequence of mathematics. Like Amita just mentioned, she started out with the AMS 8, which is Algebra 1 at the elementary level, and came into geometry as a 9th grader. Please note, if you do take Algebra 1 as an 8th grader, you will run the track of geometry in Algebra 2. As well as if you're in the grade 8 mathematics course, you will start out with Algebra 1 at the 9th grade level. Is there no path to AP classes in senior year if you're not in AMS 8 is one of the questions. In reference to that, the child, you do have options. We have AP Calculus, AB, AP Calculus BC, and AP Statistics. Please note that the child coming in as if they were in the general 8th grade mathematics course, they will be taking Algebra 1 as a 9th grader. They will be taking geometry, whether it's geometry or geometry honors, as a 10th grader. 11th grade, they will be taking Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 Trig honors, and will have the option as a 12th grader to enroll, the child can enroll in pre-calc or an elective. The electives are collegiate math, financial algebra, intro to stats and calc honors, pre-calc, I apologize, I already mentioned pre-calc, AP Calc AB, AP Calc BC, or AP Stats. Can you get into teams even if you're not in AMS 8? That is Mr. Montserrat question, but as long as you submit your application to there, you would not have a problem. I do not want to speak on behalf of Mr. Montserrat, but you would be able to, base again, it is the interview process, and once you apply, then once you go through that process, if you're accepted into teams. Is there a math packet in summer for incoming 9th grade students? Yes, there usually is a summer assignment that is provided to the child prior to leaving their 8th grade course, and it is due in the beginning. Due to the unfortunate circumstances that we had during the summer, that was not part of one of the requirements for the students to do, but that is something that we do request.
Okay, I think I don't see any more questions populating in the Q&A. Amita, thank you so much. Ms.
Thank you.
Parrott, thank you so much. Again, if you have any remaining questions, we know that math always comes with a bunch of questions as far as pathways and what needs to be taken. You could always reach out to Ms. Parra, and I'm sure she can throw her email in the chat or in the Q&A.
Yes, will do.
Thank you so much for giving us the student perspective.
Thank you, Amita.
And now we are going to circle around to business with Ms. Caneo and Mr. Marcello. So the floor is yours, Ms. Caneo and Mr. Marcello.
Hi, how are you? My name is Katie Caneo. I'm a teacher at business at Teaneck High School in the business department. I have Rachel and Leah with me tonight. If you guys would just turn your cameras on and unmute, that would be great. Rachel, we'll start with you. Can you give us a little bit of your experience in business classes and some of the things that you've taken up at the high school?
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Rachel. My freshman year of high school, I took Money Power. My sophomore year, I took Culinary Arts, which was considered a business. And junior year, I did not take a business class, I don't think. And this year, I took a small business policy seminar honors, and I take BEI, which is business experience, business internship experience. So I had a good experience at Teaneck High School with the business department because I'm on track to graduate from the department since I did take 5 classes.
Great, thanks, Rachel. Leo, you want to describe for us some of the classes that you've taken during your time at the high school?
Yeah, freshman year I took Money Power. Sophomore year I took Intro to Business. Sophomore year I took Small Business Management and Accounting. And this year I'm taking Investing Honors and Marketing Honors. The business department's great. All the teachers are super informative, super awesome, super cool. They make sure to make all the classes super fun. Like I know in Small Business Management, we literally create like our own small business and go through like every single like aspect of running a business, which is super awesome. And in Investing Honors, I know we literally like invest like fake money. We are given like $100,000 and we can invest in the stock market, which is awesome because you get to know like all the different aspects of stocks and trading and stuff. So yeah, like the business programs at Teaneck High School are super great. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So if you have any questions regarding the business electives, you can throw them in the chat. I think Mr. Marcello is here and he can help answer some of those questions. Just to give you a little bit of a history in terms of the business department, we have 13 full year electives. For incoming 9th graders, our recommendations are typically Introduction to Business, which touches upon a number of areas in economics, international business, as well as finance. We also offer Introduction to Accounting, and we also have our financial literacy course, which is open to a number of different students. We, from there, have a number of marketing classes, management classes, and 3 additional levels of accounting. We offer on as well as college credit. So those are some of the quick version of some of those classes. Mr. Marcello, do you want to take over?
Yes, I just want to introduce myself real quick. I'm Mr. Marcello, one of the teachers at Teaneck High School. Right now, this year, I'm teaching financial literacy. In that course, I teach incoming freshmen and students from different grades. But I also teach one of the upper level courses, College Success Seminar, which is preparing seniors for life after high school, helping them through the college application process. But the course that most freshmen might be joining will be financial literacy, where they're going to learn about personal finances, how to open a bank account, how to look for jobs, how to understand taxes. So basic fundamental financial literacy that they should be aware of as they move on through life. So I'm here. So if you have any questions, we're here to answer.
Sure. So it looks like we have one question coming in. Is business required every year? It is not. Financial literacy is required as per a graduation requirement for the state of New Jersey, as well as a class in business and practical arts, which I think Dr. King might be able to speak to a little bit better. We consider all students for business. You do not have to apply. You can register based on interest. So Mr. Marcello and I are 2 of the 7 in the department. We are always kind of here for each other. We're in and out of each other's classrooms. I think Leo and Rachel can attest to that. Our topics cross over. We tend to work together, whether it's a management project with a marketing class or a finance class and an accounting class, and we try to tie everything together. So the business classes are open. You are welcome to take them as an incoming 9th grader. I think we would recommend Introduction to Business. If you have a strong love of math or numbers, Intro to Accounting is a wonderful course as well. And then from every year when we go through the requirements, we would sit down with you as a class or as an individual if need be, and suggest to you some other classes based on your interests. So if you really loved the finance portion of Introduction to Business, we might say, why don't you move ahead and take financial literacy? And then from there, like Leo took, go on to honors investing and really follow that track. Students who love the creative side of business, we recommend our marketing courses. And of course, there's an honors level marketing course. When you're a junior or senior, you'll be welcome to take that course as well. Questions coming in, I'm going to try to answer quickly. Are the students doing internships? Currently, because of COVID, they are not. We do have our program for seniors, which is called BEI, which is something Rachel has been part of. So again, we're working with some uncharted territory in terms of how we're going to place students moving forward in the future. But the BEI program places students within our building, and they're able to work with our administrative staff, our secretaries, our deans, our coaches, the nurse's office. They're placed all over the building to get that feel of what it's like to work in an office setting. So we do work with them and place them. Go ahead, Rachel. You might want to talk to that a little bit more.
Yeah, as of right now, like since COVID is happening with BEI, my teacher, we do internships online. Kind of, we do sit into a lot of presentations and a lot of Zoom calls or business meetings, sometimes during our meetings during our class period or after school, since BEI has different periods throughout the day, which makes it a lot easier for us to still get that feel even though we are virtual. So.
Great, thank you, Rachel. Dr. King, do you want to talk to the requirement side of things?
Yeah, I just want to say very quickly, business is an all-elective department. You do not have to take a business course, but we want you to take a business course. We are the most popular elective department, I think. I'm just tooting out our own horn. But if you go and look at the video, you will see the business courses, and next to that course, you will see an asterisk. If you see an asterisk next to the course, like Introduction to Business and Introduction to Accounting, that means those courses meet the financial literacy requirement for a New Jersey diploma. So I just wanted to speak to that because I heard it come up.
Great, thanks, Dr. King. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. I think we're out of time.
Thank you all very much, Dr. King, Mr. Marcello, Mr. Mateo. Leo and Rachel, thank you so much for offering your perspective. It really is extremely helpful, and I think it gives our incoming freshmen a real idea as to what to expect. So thank you all very, very much. And now we are going to move on. We actually have a little bonus segment. We have Mr. David Murphy, who is our athletic director, who will field some questions regarding athletics. Again, only athletic. If you have questions, his informational video, which you could have accessed or you'll be able to access again through that castle graphic. But if you have questions regarding athletics, we know that that is a hot topic, and Mr. Murphy is here to answer a couple of questions. We have a few minutes, so if you'd like to populate some questions in the Q&A, Mr. Murphy is ready to answer. Mr. Murphy, all yours.
Good evening. How's everyone doing? Hope you all are well. Is there a choice between gym and weight room classes? So no, throughout the year, what happens is the gym teachers, the phys ed teachers, work on various portions of health and wellness portion. Some pieces are during the weight room time. Some are, more conditioning based. Yoga is one of the things that we'll be focusing on. We're focusing on now, what we're doing as we get back within the building and even into next year. So it's not just an either or. Throughout the year, we do different things in order to make sure that we have more well-rounded students when it comes to health, wellness, strength conditioning, things of that nature. How does one join the fencing program? So essentially, all of our sports, first thing you would do is register on Family ID, familyid.com, search for Teaneck High School, and essentially you would register for every sport that you like. We will usually open up those registrations in usually May or June of this year. For next year, the registration will stay open until a couple of weeks before the actual sport tryouts or practices begin. For every sport, you are in need of getting a physical. One physical will last you for the entire year, 365 days. If you have any other, medical conditions such as asthma, bronchitis, if you have any allergies that require medication, we have some paperwork that you all need to get your doctors to fill out and bring that back with the physical form. Depending on where we are with guidance from the NJSIAA, anything that has to do with COVID paperwork, we'll let you know what the state and what the district is requiring in order to, in order to do that. And then you reach out to the coach. We will post on the THS app. So if you don't have it, please make sure you grab the THS app. We post when meetings are coming up, interest meetings, things of that nature. Coaches will reach out to students to get those meetings going. And then essentially when it comes time for tryouts or for first practices, all your paperwork is in, you get cleared by our nurse and doctors, and you start. How many sports per season? So if you're asking how many sports one person can play per season, you can play one sport per season. There are a couple of allowances with the NJSIAA. We can talk about that more in depth if you need to. We can do that then. Do all sports require weightlifting depending on health? Not necessarily. Some sports, some coaches, they do a little more strength conditioning in the off season or during the season. If there's any health concerns or anything that you have going on physically that prohibits you from doing certain exercises, even with the team, those conversations can be had with the coaches, between you and the coaches, your parent and the coaches, just to make sure the coaches are aware. Because again, we want to make sure that we're prepared, for all of our, athletics, but we also want to make sure that we're safe in doing that. What league does the soccer program compete in? So all of our teams except for football are part of the Big North Athletic Conference. Currently, we play in the national division. Every 2 years, there is a rotation of divisions. Sometimes you rotate out of a division to another, or sometimes you may stay in that division, but a couple of the teams may change. And then, we're given a base schedule depending on the sport, where we play our divisional games twice, one home, one away. We are given some crossover games with the other divisions. And then our coaches also are able to go out and get some independent games, especially for your sports that play like soccer, basketball, baseball, softball, things like that. So we are in the Big North Conference. Currently, we are in the national division. I hope I answered that question. Are there tryouts for soccer? Yes, there's a tryout for soccer. Again, all of the information will start to come up in May. The tryout, depending on where we are, obviously with the health of the nation, will dictate when that is able to begin. But again, we will have information and things popped up on the THS app, and we will be able to get the information to you that way preliminarily. Do you try for sports or just sign up? It all depends on the sport. Some sports have a lot of student athletes that want to sign up, but there are some restrictions on the number of students that can play them just because some sports work that way. And other sports, we can have as many student athletes as possible. So essentially, it all depends on the sport that you're interested in. Will there be volleyball? Yes, there will be volleyball. Volleyball this year, because of COVID and because the state did not have guidance for indoor sports in the fall, got moved to what they're calling season 3, a time between the essential winter and spring. But volleyball for girls is a fall sport. Volleyball for boys is a spring sport. Do you have to try for baseball? Most likely you do. Most of our sports, we have 2 levels, JV and varsity. So depending on the number of student athletes that want to play the sport, there may be a need for a tryout, especially with sports that, you know, can only carry so many student athletes. Is there a trial for volleyball? It's the same thing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Yeah, you're
Sorry.
like, we knew this was going to happen, but
They're all there, so I'm trying to go through them all.
there's a lot of interest, which is good. So, Mr. Murphy, if you want to drop your email in the chat or the Q&A, that would probably be helpful. I'm just trying to be mindful of everyone's time. Thank you all very much for joining us. Hopefully this was an informative evening and you're excited for what THS has to offer. I'm now going to pass the mic to Assistant Principal Margot Mack, who will close out the evening. Ms. Mack, it is all yours. Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Good evening, everybody, again. Number one, we just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had over 150 people in this virtual open house, and we are so excited about that. A little bit of housekeeping. Again, if you did have some trouble accessing some presentations or videos, the videos and the presentations will be linked on our Teaneck High School website. So they will be there for you to peruse at your own leisure and really take the information in. Lastly, I want to say before I say goodnight, you know, we are so proud of Teaneck High School. I personally have been here 10 years. I did teach for 6 years here. It's my 4th year as AP. I will have the freshman class next year, so I will be the assistant principal for that class and follow them until they are seniors. Teaneck is truly a very special place, and it is a home for everyone. We had our valedictorian last year, who is currently a freshman at Yale. We have students who don't go to college and they go straight to do a gap year and perform service and volunteerism throughout the world. And then we have our students who go straight to work. So again, this is a truly unique high school that is a place for everyone. And we look forward to really pouring in educationally to your students, and we look forward to watching them flourish. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, we will all put our email addresses in the chat, and please feel free to reach out to us. Our relationship starts now, and we truly appreciate that. Email us with anything multiple times. You will never be a bother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. And just if you want to stay on, we will now post a slide with all of our email addresses so that you have them, but they're always available. You can get them on the website. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. Be well.